Hey everybody, how's it going? Back here once again to play some games. This time we're playing one I've been looking forward to for a good bit when, as you can see here, Digital Eclipse released their third of the Gold Master series, Tetris Forever. We played the previous two ones, the Karateka uh, collection there, and the Jeff Minter collection, and Tetris seems like a very good third choice there. So yeah, this is a franchise that people know all over the world. Started in Russia or the Soviet Union, I guess. Technically, managed to kind of get a deal out there that brought it out of Russia to make money all around the world with ports on probably any platform you can think of has probably gotten Tetris outside of a handful of uh, platforms that would fail. Stuff like a 3DO, I assume, stuff like that that's either just would not do well enough to deserve it, or maybe just nobody ever thought of that versus what you might expect. But as you can see here, we got a play games button. There's a bunch of versions. This, I believe, is the original version of Tetris. But yeah, ports here to MS-DOS, Famicom, Apple II, Game Boy. Let's see, yeah, NES, Super Nintendo. I assume will also be here, or Game Boy Color, and the original one, Time Warp. Okay, they're just going by the Japanese version here. That's interesting. Okay, and they're saying like which ones have multiplayer to them. Okay, that's neat. Interesting to frame one around. Let's go. But yeah, these are all, I believe, versions made by Spectrum Holobyte, or no? What is it? It's the BPS. I think that's the team that's worked on all of these versions. I don't know if they have any more specific details on them outside of, yeah, it's probably in the documentary part of this. But yeah, this is basically a lot of, if not all of the official releases through the Super Nintendo era. There have obviously been tons more since then that span the gamut to the point where the T-spin became a core part of what the Tetris company considers the sort of basic mechanics of the franchise kind of thing. And so yeah, they obviously go to the point of everything kind of going after that. Yeah, there's like Shockwave Tetris. Oh, this is the first free online version that was on the Shockwave. It's like Flash but different. As you can see here, they had Tetris on Dreamcast called Tetris Worlds. That was THQ published that. Like, I think most publishers have had a crack at it. Pokemon Tetris, obviously, here. Which I don't know released over here. Maybe did in some form. Let's see. Mini keychain size system called the Pokemon Mini. Okay. So that's all there. Yeah, a whole Blue Lava wireless. Yeah, like phone versions. Here's Simpsons making a joke. So that's fun. Yeah, where else? Here's yeah, EA secures mobile Tetris rights. And they had that for quite a while. Yeah, 15-year exclusive license to publish Tetris for mobile phones, which that was as of 2006, and it just recently expired. Tetris Online, yeah. with Minoru Arakawa, retired from Nintendo at that point. Established Tetris Online. Okay, there's your Tetris DS, which was sort of the Nintendo published Tetris game. Which was, I've heard good things. I don't think I had a DS at this point when this came out. Yeah, if it was 06, yeah, then I definitely didn't. Had Wi-Fi multiplayer with like a 10 person chaotic mode, as well as a bunch of other stuff going on there. Here's the iPod version of Tetris. Stanford University introduces the game canon. The 10 culturally important video games, including Tetris, that are submitted to be preserved at the U.S. Library of Congress. So yeah, that's cool. This is the first Penguin Award at the Game Developers Choice Awards. Okay. Pioneer Award here. 1 million downloads on the App Store. Okay, with Tetris. Yep. While many new versions of Tetris are being released on browsers, phones, LA player Harry Hong became the first player to achieve the maximum score of 999.99 on the NES version of Tetris. Took 4 years of practice. Jeez, that's a lot. Yeah, arcade versions. Tetris Giant. Really? You had this... Jeez, that would be a big... It's a big screen, but also not a big screen. Like, the amount of real estate there you have is not great. But okay. That almost looks like Lumines more than Tetris. Just kind of weird. The largest officially licensed version of Tetris, over 7 feet tall, and sports massive joysticks that players have to control with both hands. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know about that. In 2010, Tetris announced over 100 million people paid to download Tetris on their mobile devices. First game to achieve that impressive mark. Yeah. Yeah, classic Tetris. Yeah, that'd be Harry Hong. If you ever watch competitive Tetris, it is ridiculous. Because it goes at a speed that you probably didn't realize you could be playing at, but people have broken it down that much in kind of an interesting way. Okay, they named a trophy after one of its best players. So, okay. Tetris Tripler. Oh, is this a lottery card? Oh, man. Getting that money there. Tetris is modern art. Yeah, like an installation playing the yeah, New York's MoMA. Yeah, they have a video game collection there. And so yeah, that's interesting. Especially because that looks like the original version of Tetris. Wait, did that say Katamari Damacy Vib Ribbon? Okay. Okay. Those aren't games I was expecting to be on there. Yeah, Puyo Puyo Tetris. This was a big thing here. Sort of the first version of Tetris on the Xbox One and PS4 at that time. And they were Japanese only for a while. So much so that people imported them through the through PlayAsia or whatever to get at them until they got to official releases sometime later. But let you combine these two or just play straight Tetris or straight Puyo. Those are fun. Tetris on a building. Yeah, seems like a thing that I'm not surprised that they did. The fact that it's actually a 2-player game, players had to sit on opposite sides of the building, actually located a mile from each other so they could both see their screens. That's cool. Let's see, Hank's daughter Maya Rogers became CEO of Blue Planet Software. She had originally joined BPS in 2009, following 2 years as Director of Business Development for Tetris Online China. Okay. Yeah, Tetris in the Strong National Museum of Play in Rochester, New York. And it's World Video Game Hall of Fame. Pong, Doom, Super Mario Brothers, World of Warcraft, and Pac-Man as its inaugural class, which are all good choices. Yeah, Tetris Effect, fantastic version of the game. Look at this, I'm on a PlayStation, looking at a picture of Tetris 99, the Switch exclusive game. Yeah, just explaining what it's doing there. There's their new logo. Had used the logo designed by Roger Dean since '97. Built an all-new logo in 2019. Sure. Tell me that's different than other ones. Where's... There's a classic one logo. I'm trying to look. If they have anything... Okay, that's probably the classic 97. Just has like the very long letters. Whereas this one probably redesigns the letters to be just kind of more reasonable. Okay. Tetris Mini. Oh, mini consoles, okay. Sega's Genesis Mini included specialty for players and all-new Genesis version of Tetris. Based on their kid game from '88. Okay. Oh, officially renaming BPS to Tetris Inc. Okay. But the Guinness World Record for largest playable arcade machine. That was 16 foot tall. Tetris cabinet. Okay. Sure. Like, literally you're not using most of that cabinet or anything. It's just the screen's all the way up here, so you kind of have to... 4 buttons? Who needs 4 buttons? I guess you're moving with that. You're hitting 2 to rotate it left or right. 1 to probably store it. That kind of game. It's probably store on the... Yeah, the hold. Okay, and then you have the... Just throw it down. Okay. I've reasoned my way back into being confident that it's 4 buttons is useful there. Okay. Yeah, the Chicken McNuggets thing. This was last year. The whole thing where people imported them. We could have the McDonald's Chicken McNugget Tetris game. I don't know why they never brought it over, other than probably some license right. Yeah, the Tetris movie that came out on Apple TV Plus. What is this? 13-year-old Tetris player named Willis Blue Scooty Gibson accomplished what many thought was impossible to become the first human player to get a kill screen on the NES version of Tetris, by playing so quickly and expertly that he caused the game to crash at the highest level of play. Okay, that's a cool thing. Boy 13 is believed to be first to beat Tetris. Alright. Yeah, Hank Rogers and Alexei Pajitnov. 40 years of Tetris in 2024 this year. Which I guess would be why they're putting out this collection now. Or, yeah, 40 years, 84. Yeah. This is their new version of it. Time Warp, which I believe switches between, as it says here, to temporarily warp to classic versions of Tetris, completing objectives or bonus points. Yeah, Tetris Forever, more stuff there, and then, yeah. Let's play some Tetris Time Warp just so we can see where the latest edition is at on all this. Okay, there's multiplayer, which I'm gonna guess is, yeah, local. Okay, why is it still in it? Okay. That's where I like bumped into the, okay. Ghost Piece. Don't really need it, but I'll keep it on there. 1984 Flicker. Show next piece. Oh, you can show how many pieces. Okay. Okay. hold. Yeah, and hard drop on. But yeah, what would if we have counterclockwise and clockwise hold? What would the fourth button be if hard drop is just down on that arcade version? Double checking what I got my audio set at. Just okay, let's play some of this. We're not gonna play much modern or much marathon in these games, hopefully. Shall see. It has like redesigned music, obviously based on various core themes that you tend to get over the years. Like there. Needs just pick one. Like, we'll go with A since that was the first one here. Yeah, and I mean, the way you want to play Tetris is basically set up a wall here that will be filled up as you go. So I want to hold that so I can bring this down. You want to get Tetrises, which is eliminating 4 lines at once. Okay. Here we go. And ideally, you would also set up multiple Tetrises to go, and that's a combo thing. But I'm probably want to do this. There's your combo. I'll bring that out. I feel like most people playing Tetris don't use both rotates. I feel like you probably just do one at a time. Trying to figure out. So yeah, we're in bad shape. Didn't have room for a square, and one came up, which I should have had. So let's get us a Tetris here at least. I don't know what the trophy situation on this. I've not had a chance to look at that. But we're not in bad place, really. Just that one bad spot there. I can build around it and fix this up. Alright. And yeah, these pieces all have names. S, T, L, the Z piece, so I'm going to probably hold that for now. If you play Poo Poo Tetris, the story stuff in there literally covers all their names, so... Oh, what is this? I think I have to get those eliminated to switch over, I'm gonna guess. Yeah, having this ghost piece, I don't know that really helps all that much for me personally. Oh, is this where it's gonna start dropping? I had seen a little bit that they had like a drop pieces mode, which is in some Tetris games. Yeah, I'm probably playing pretty poorly here, but I think I'm doing alright. Got that there. I almost made a mistake there, but luckily corrected myself. Yeah, we're kind of not picking out anything. Also put myself in a weird position here. Oh, is that... Okay, so I get it now. That is essentially a power-up that rotates, I guess. I'm just gonna let that happen. Yeah, just gonna deal with it here. Just going to Game Boy Tetris, kind of. I wonder if there's design decisions around that. Oh, this is pretty cool. Oh no. I don't know what Big Bomb is. Yeah. That seems like a cool idea for a thing. Not so much when I'm just throwing myself into it, but yeah. I'll go over back here again. And so I might as well just start trying to get some pieces out of here. And again, I don't have a spot for that when it's coming up. I'm also not looking at next. I'm just reacting kind of how things are looking. Yeah, it's kind of what you have to do for a bit until you figure it out where things need to go. But yeah, people kind of have all these scenarios played out in their heads when they're doing this, and so they know, like, okay, at this point I'm going to do this. Okay, back to here.